kindergarten. It's Mrs. Griffith again. We have been talking about subtraction in math, and I'm going to read you a book that's a subtraction story, and it has one of our favorite friends in it, Pete the cat. And the name of this book is Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons, and it is written by Eric Litwin and art by James Dean, the creator of Pete the Cat. Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. Here's the title page. Tells us the author and the illustrator. Here we go. Pete the cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons, my buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. And you'll notice he has the number 4 up there. He's looking pretty groovy, isn't he? Pretty cool. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Oh, Pete. 1 popped off, kindergarten. 3 buttons are left. And they have the math sentence here for us. 4 take away 1 equals 3. And there's Pete with his 3 groovy buttons now. He's lost 1, so he's down to 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons, my buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. He's not stressed about it, is he? He's like groovy. He likes 3. Good old Pete the cat. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Pete has lost another button out while he's skateboarding. There are 2 buttons left. 3 take away 1 equals 2. And there's the math sentence. And he's got the minus sign and the equal sign. And he tells how many we started with and how many we took away and how many are left. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons, my buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Oh my gosh, Pete, look at that. How many are left? He's having his ice cream cone. 1. There's only 1 button left. 2 take away 1 equals 1. And there's our math sentence. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button, my button, my my one groovy button. Now he's at the beach. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Oh my gosh. Pete now has a problem. 0. 1, take away 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button. And he kept on singing his song. Pete. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. And he says, it's all good. He is a groovy cat, isn't he? I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. A good example about Pete the cat. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. So Pete, that crazy cat, was using subtraction, wasn't he, to figure out how many buttons were left on his shirt. I hope you enjoyed that Pete the cat story. Pete the cat and his 4 groovy buttons. Bye, kindergarten.